Hi, it's very nice to have you back on my channel. Today, we're going to talk about a red team simulation attack course here on Campfire Security. We have been hired by something called Voltix Energy Red Team Simulation Unit. Now, our task is to do an actual black box penetration test on the website. That's going to be mentioned right there. I already have it opened on the virtual machine here. And we're going to go ahead and detect SQL injection. Now, this is, of course, the task of this particular one. There are 11 tasks in the operation Gridlock. Now, of course, you need to take it one step at a time. So it does talk about uncovering weaknesses before real adversaries find them and, do something about it. And it does talk about and show what is SQL injection and so on. But I would highly recommend you to go ahead and think, well, do you have the first necessary step, and that is, of course, to learn about a bit of programming, because doing stuff like SQL injection, it does require you to understand SQL queries, standard SQL language. What is it? How does it work? And basically, you also need to understand a bit of code. So when I use stuff like you need to look for the concatenation operators and find the string and how it's put together, it should basically be like, oh yeah, that's right. And this is actually we look at right there. So basically, I want to say it's a really good idea to go ahead and do something like programming 101 or networking 101 before you actually engage yourself in these kind of tasks. Okay, so having that said, we have a task to find this SQL injection query. And they do give us like how it applies to you. So yeah, we need to go ahead and look at user info. There's a parameter called Q. And on this side here, it's just these cannot be clicked on. Maybe you thought I can click on them, but you cannot. There's down here something called Explore API documentation. And I'm going to go ahead and click that. The API documentation specifies different kind of routes to the application. And the one we're going to go ahead and check out for the user information, go ahead and click try it out. And then we're going to get Q is equal to something here in the description. We can type something like test, for example. That's going to be the Q parameter, user information. There is no particular user called that. How do I know these kind of things? Well, so when you create a REST API, you're going to create these routes understandable. So you need to understand that, whenever you go ahead and check out the route called user info, it should basically pull out the user information. This is not in plural, so it would not be users' information, something like that. But this user info should basically be one user. But what we need to do here is to find an SQL flaw. We could probably say, is the user called admin? Just to check it out, execute that. And there's actually a user called admin. Response spot is, we're going to get like username and admin. I'm going to zoom a bit here for you so it'll be easy to see the screen. And we see the email. Okay, so doing actual SQL injection on this part here, what we could try is to get the response here to give us the actual SQL statement it uses. Sometimes you could do that by saying, okay, so let's go back here. If the SQL statement is something like this here, we should basically say the one part we inject, let me zoom a bit for you here, is, where is it? There we go. The admin single quotation and dash dash. If I do something else here and I'm trying to inject, let's say, some sort of union-based select statement, and what you need to understand of union-based is that if you don't know the amount of columns the SQL statement selects, it will result in an error. It doesn't really matter for us right now how many it is, but all these, in good time. So what we can do now is just say, I'm going to close it off and say, I'm going to end the statement and say union, select one, and dash dash, for example. That I will execute. And basically, it will tell us right now that select username email from users where username is equal to bank. That is the SQL statement it is executing in the backend. All right. So, of course, this is a lab. If error codes were switched on a real website, this might be the case. I cannot say for sure it will be. We need to use whatever kind of things will be, showed on the screen. So if we are shown this, we will use it. So I know there's a username and an email, but I'm not really sure about if there is like other fields. What I need to do right now is just basically say, let's union select the username and the email. Now we are already, past beyond saying that this is SQL injection free. There is an SQL injection. I'm doing injection right now, union injections. Now I did one. When did I write one? It's because in SQL, if I write I could also say like the letter A, for example, it would be the same, but maybe it makes a bit more sense if I wrote the letter A. But the thing is, there we go. The thing is, I could write 1 and 2. Now we know that there are 2 columns selected, right? So I'm going to select 1 and 2. What this will do is to replace the data that is inside the value, the data, right, of the names, username and email with the actual 1s and 2s. So if I went ahead here and wrote like, my name is Daniel, then all of a sudden it will say Daniel right there. That's why I union select. If I union select the actual names that we got just before, let's go back to the error. Username and email, I can basically just copy paste these, go back and say like union select those 2, execute it and go down here. And now, so it's like, we got something issue here going on. We cannot select username and email. Let's go ahead and say from users and then execute again. Now, what are you seeing? You're seeing that this database, this table we're selecting from has 4 rows, 4 inserted users. Now, the one is called admin, so username, so it's Bob, Charlie, and Eve. These are the different kind of users. Now, what could be interesting now is to see, is there actually something called password? We could go ahead and try that. Doesn't really matter. We could try. And what we're seeing right now, and I guess you see it, we got a flag. I don't know if this is the case that, we will need to guess password, but I think what you probably think, why not try and union select the password field? It's very common. It would be called password. Now, there are actually ways that you can go ahead and find out what kind of column names there is in the user table called users. But that's a bit more advanced. And right now we're just injecting using union. Going back to the actual lab notes, we can see that it does actually talk about using union select. And we can also try using admin username, use dash, use select, and so on. So it does actually take on the route of doing union selects. Now, there's probably more ways to solve this. I'm not really sure if it is the way it was intended to be done, but I'm going to go ahead and basically copy paste this flag right here, put it in, and see that we actually got this file. So we're actually done with this room. Now, when you have access to this union-based select way, there are different things you can go ahead and do. You can go ahead and basically write to a file because there is something called out file in SQL. And that could actually create a file, a certain path that you can go ahead and use for further escalation on the server. It could be something like a reverse shell. And as you've seen, I can write my own data. I can select whatever I would like to select. Select even doesn't really say, but you can only select in the table. You can also just select what I put in. So if I say like quotation, I'm going to go ahead and begin and write a script in PHP and so on, it's going to select that. If I can select it, I can save it on the hard disk. So if I have privileges to save something on the hard disk, I could try and generate even further. Now I'm talking a bit advanced right now. I know it's bit advanced, but just informing you about it, this is an actual issue there is. So actually, SQL injections are pretty bad. If you have access to the hard disk using SQL injection, you can write some files with SQL injection on the server, and you also have some sort of knowledge to the path and where things are saved. It's pretty bad. So for this task, we talked about standard normal SQL injection. We talked about union select SQL injections, and we actually got something out of it. So we selected a different kind of, table name, different kind of table column. And I don't know if that was the case to do, but we didn't say like, probably is a password column. So we tried it. Okay, so for this task, we talked about the SQL injection. In this task, we're going to talk about cross-site scripting. And for now, I want to say thank you so much for watching and getting this far in the video. Have any questions about this particular task, go ahead and ask the question down below in the description. Also remember that if you want to subscribe on Campfire Security, where this course is located, you can go ahead and create a free profile, and you have limited access, but you can go ahead and try it out. But if so, you really like it and you want to subscribe for real, well, go ahead and check out the description again in this video, because there are some discount promo codes. You can go ahead and check it out. You can save some money, create your profile, get access to all the beautiful and very wonderful labs, and get yourself a bunch of new knowledge in cybersecurity. So I wish you a really happy day and stay safe out there.